Okay, we're live and welcome to another episode of Nick's Knowledge and Notions in Cube Science Series, brought to you by the Seven Spheres of Money. Thank you for joining us. And before we continue on, make sure you like this video, share it, and subscribe to the Seven Spheres of Money on YouTube. And tonight's show is sponsored by Tolero Organic Tequila. Crisp, smooth, organic. This is luxury. This is Tolero, because good tequila should not taste bad. And the best part about it, it's black owned. And you can get a discount on DJ the Money Coach too when you shop at ToleroTequila.com. Enter in promo code MONEY to get 10% off of your purchase. That's shopToleroTequila.com. Get your Tolero Tequila at a 10% discount. Promo code MONEY. Now let's go ahead and get into tonight's program. So DJ, you got a different background there. You know, we don't see your Seven Spheres of Money boards up. So you out there on a working vacation?
Yes, sir. I'm out here in the beautiful suburb of Detroit called Novi. This is actually a working vacation. I'm out here closing out multiple properties with Clarence, and I'm also out here taking care of some other business as well. So we make this trip out here every other month, and man, it's exciting, man. We got 11 total properties over the last 3 months, and this weekend, including tomorrow, we'll be at the office. We'll be shooting some live shots, some of the properties, putting some tenants in the properties, and hey man, just doing what we do, man. Just out here chopping it up. So what I do is I'm out here for 5 days. So you see that kitchenette behind me, instead of me having this super luxury suite. This is actually a suite. It's actually a real nice suite that I stay at, and it's got the whole shebang, because I'm smart with my money, man. I go out and have a couple of meals, but primarily we do our meals here because it's a smart way to do it, and that's what we're doing, man. So yeah, we're rocking here in Novi. Been on the ground since Thursday and chopping it up and making it happen. Actually gonna be meeting with Ron tomorrow, or matter of fact, on Mother's Day, I'll be with our mentor Ron at Studio 21. So we're probably going to shoot another show and showing the real estate new transactions that we made, and also the tenants that we're putting in the properties, and show you the follow-up work from those back in March.
Yep. So the real estate properties DJ is referring to, that's a part of our 3 Steps to Success program. So if you've come through the program and you qualify for those investment opportunities, that's something that you can participate in too. So DJ is getting those properties to put on our assembly line, for the members of our system.
That's absolutely correct. And if you qualify, you can get involved in real estate with this 3 Steps to Success business system for as little as $7,500. That's right, because we own all these properties cash outright, and we own a couple of hundred properties that you can get in as little as $7,500, and you can own a property fully by yourself for as little as $40,000 and make at least $800 to $850 a month in passive income. And a lot of people should take advantage of that, but you have to go through the qualifiers. And shout out to our newest member, Mama Dalu, and if I pronounce the name wrong, Mama Dalu, I apologize, but a sharp computer science guy out of Missouri that saw the wisdom, saw us on Erica Williams' show, and he said he's seen us a couple of times, and actually, schedule been busy and hectic today. And here's the thing, and he said a very poignant thing, Nick. He said what really stood out for him was that when we did the show, when all the power and the massive snowstorm we had in Texas, and he said, man, I was just amazed that you still did that show. And I said, the reason why I did that show is to show you that business don't stop for nobody. You know, and if you're a one man or one woman show, even though you make $1 million, but if something happens and you can't be the person on that platform, you really don't have a business. So from doing that, lesson learned is you never know who's out there watching you, you know. And the good thing is we set a great example and we're able to show. And then even though we had challenges out here, I'm always going to keep it, 100 with folks. So we had challenges, man, with hotels today. Had to switch two hotels, with some crazy stuff. And actually, I'm working on, I think, 2 hours of sleep over the last 28 hours. But there ain't no excuse. I did not miss any business arrangements that I had, even though I'm only working a couple of hours, because that's what you got. That's what you got to do. And even though we have a team out here, we have accountability that we have to do, and that's most important. So, man, got a positive mindset. Had an amazing and the pom lifestyle. Had amazing massage by our girl Mila.
I was getting ready to ask you, did you get one?
Shout out to Mila and her wonderful assistant Bathsheba. Man, had an amazing massage, and love your body massage. If you are in the Detroit metro area ever, you have to go look up Love Your Body Massage, and Mila's gonna take care of you. She's gonna give you a DJ the Money Coach discount. And man, dude, I'm telling you, she pulled out all the stops today. Gave us an extra half an hour on the house because we were having so much challenges that she was like, hey, I know you probably got a little bit of stress on you. And I was like, you're surely right. Full, great, massage, the hot rags, the cucumbers, the champagne. I'm telling you, man, she does it first class. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, and especially happy Mother's Day to Mila, because she actually applied the platinum rule today. Okay, so she had other things going on, and I had last minute was like, hey, gonna be in town, can I get that massage? And she was like, you know what? I've got this stuff going. Your normal time slot, I really don't have available. And all of a sudden, she made it available, man. Made it available. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Made it available. Put me right in my regular time slot. Doc went over there as well, and man, hooked it up. Took care of us. Played our music, man. It's like Cheers. So we came in to the joint, and I'm hearing, leave the door open. I'm like, well, who's in there getting a massage? She said, oh, no, I got it ready for you guys.
Oh, wow.
And then had the whole catalog of my man Anderson Paak. So It just automatically, the stress was up here for a minute, and it just automatically dropped down, man, to out of my toes, man. It was gone. And we in there, she rolled out and gave us 2 servings of champagne. You know what I'm saying? So she opened up the door and boom. Oh, here's your champagne. We usually get the champagne at the end. She's like, I know you need a little champagne right now.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So she broke us off with a little champagne, started doing the massage, and then added the extra half an hour, came back with the follow-up champagne. And brother didn't want to leave. And so
that treatment.
I'm kind of running on here, but yeah, man, that's where we are. So if you watching this, first and foremost, like you said, we want to wish a happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. Give them a shout out, because that is the most unselfish job that one can do on the planet at sometimes, and especially during the pandemic. A lot of moms have had to bear the brunt of homeschooling their children, also doing their jobs. So we want to say shout out. And if you haven't gotten your mom flowers, candy, taking her out to an amazing restaurant, you better do it now. And I would give a shout out to one of our, great, vendors that we're working to try to get a deal with them. Maybe I should. You know what? You know what I'm going to do? Tell you what, ladies and guys, I don't get paid nothing for this. But if you want the best flower company on the planet for your moms, your girlfriends, your wives, your spouse, your significant others, your women, your men, you want to get this one. I'm telling you, this is the best of the best. roseflowers.com, and tell them DJ the Money Coach sent you. We don't have a deal with them, but tell them DJ the Money Coach sent you. And here's what I'm gonna tell you why. They make the best flowers on the planet. What do I mean by that? Flowers last 2 to 3 weeks. Roses, which is unheard of. I mean, no question about it. Unheard of. And these flowers are amazing. Let me show you. Let me show you, ladies. And guess what? I hooked up all the moms. You know, in the cat in my my deal. Hold up, Clarence just hit me up. Say he was waiting to hear from me. I'm gonna see if we can get him on the show. But check this out. So I hit up all the moms, and dude, I felt like I stole something. That the stuff was so cheap. I'm telling you, it's crazy. Let me show you. Let me show you these flowers that are just freaking amazing, man. Let me show you. Let me show you these flowers. And if you ain't hooked your mom up, you know, you better hook your mom up. Can you send me the picture again real quickly? You send me the picture. And somehow I must have accidentally deleted it because I had storage backup. But yeah, these flowers are incredible. And so these flowers for a dozen with delivery is okay. Yeah, so Clarence said he can come on. So this is cool. So these flowers, long stem, the real sexy flowers, are usually like $7, $70 for a dozen, right? Rose flowers hooked your brother up for 24 roses, 2 dozen with delivery. Man, $40.
What?
Man, I just told my mom, my sister, my woman, my grandmom. Man, I just told them how much I paid for them darn flowers.
Oh man.
Oh man, I didn't even realize I just did that.
Oh man, you might be in trouble. You might be in trouble this weekend.
Man, I just got out the bag, man. You know that's all right, but you got to have the hookup to get them for that price, though.
Oh yeah, you do. That's ridiculous right there.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So Clarence just texted. He said, "Send him the link. Send our link to Clarence. He'll come on for 20 minutes." So This is another thing, ladies and gentlemen. You know, you can when you own your own thing and you're free in America, you can do things at your own pace and everything. That's right. And this is an adult show, you know, and I'm having a nice little beverage. And normally I would have my sponsor, Tolero, but I can't take it through the airport, you know, without getting pulled over.
Yeah. But it's okay. I got 2 bottles for DJ. I got one for myself and one for him. So
you send me that picture?
I got it covered. But you know, I'm having myself a beverage too.
Yeah, so yeah, man. So roseflowers.com. I'm giving them a free plug on our platform because we're gonna get them hooked up. And dude, let me show you these pictures. No. Oh, okay. All right. Can you send me the Well, we don't want to give them that one. You're sending me the link. We ain't gonna get them that much plug. But look at this. Look at these flowers here. Can you send me the other one? This is
yeah. Let me
and check this out. Delivered to the door in 48 hours.
Wow.
48 hours. Yeah. I'm gonna show you another. Hold up. This is for the moms out there. And if you're a dad, you know, playing mom as a single dad, you deserve your flowers too. Yeah. So yeah, man. They gave me. Nope, I'm not going. Yeah. So check this out. And I've ordered. Check this out, guys and gals. I've ordered flowers from here at least 20 times over the past 2 years. Look at those.
Wow.
That's
beautiful.
2 dozen with shipping included for $40.
Wow.
Yeah, bro. And they got here early. All my moms got their flowers on Thursday, and I ordered them on Monday or Tuesday morning. Real talk. Look at that. So it ain't too late, guys. Roseflowers.com and tell them DJ the Money Coach sent you. Okay? So when you put your order in, look at that right there. These flowers are gorgeous. Look at that. Red, pink, white. Roseflowers.com. Roseflowers.com. You know, get with your boy, DJ the Money Coach. You know, we can use a sponsor because I sent a lot of flowers out to you know, my woman, my mom, my grandma. We take care of them. Take care of those people who love you. And it's okay to send your dad's flowers too. All right. So yeah. Send that link to Clarence and hey man, let's rock and roll this show.
Oh yeah. We in it. We in it. Yeah. So also put the link to Mullah's interview too in the chat.
Yeah. Put that in there. Yep.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mila, man.
Yep. So that's in the chat. That just that actually just dropped on Monday night. You know. So go. Yeah. So if you want to learn more, you know, go ahead and watch that interview. Yep. Amazing interview there.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's an exciting time to be alive, man. I mean, dude, the airport was jam packed, man.
Oh wow.
Jam-packed. Yeah, jam packed, dude. These hotels out here, jam packed.
Wow.
So the economy is opening up.
Yep.
So if you guys don't know that, the economy is opening up. Real estate is booming. Business is booming. If you're in the right place with the right team, again, you know, people always ask us, you know, why we wear these baseball caps? Because, you know, success is a team sport. I mean, shout out to Melvin Hobson, our registered investment advisor, my personal advisor for 17 years, manages millions of dollars of real estate. Shout out to our par excellence CPA, James Lane Jr. CPA. He's been taking care of a lot of our members. Our members are excited. Man, I'm going to tell you, a lot of these high-end people been coming to us, master degrees, PhDs, businesses that are doing $500,000. And check this out, Nick. They've been in business for a while and ain't getting the stuff that we giving them in 30 minutes.
Wow.
Shout out to Verlisa, who owns 2-3 very good businesses, been down in business for a long time. And she was like, wow, your team is amazing. You know what I'm saying? You know, shout out to Curtacia, who's an auditor and getting down with us like, man, this is some amazing stuff. Shout out to my man Terry, young, sharp, 25-year-old, rocking and rolling, excited. These are all new people that's becoming. You know, shout out again to Mama Dude, who just joined the team. Shout out to Kamika. Shout out to Wanda. Shout out to Julie. Shout out to Ross. You know, these are young professionals that have just come into, you know, the 7 spheres of money system who have been doing business, running businesses, professional careers, making $75,000 to $250,000 a year, work with other professionals over the last 3-4 years and ain't met a team like our team, ain't met a Ray, you know, Leonard. You know, our Forex expert has been trading Forex for the last, you know, 14 years since 2007, 7 figures, making 5 figures plus in profit, helping people with business credit lines just because he wants to, you know, serve the community. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
These are the exciting things. Shout out, you know, man, I don't want to forget anybody, but this is, like I said, it's Mother's Day. To shout out to all the mothers that are out there, you know, working hard to make things, you know, work. You know, it's amazing, man. It's amazing to be able to have the working relationships with people and doing things right. And again, we're not perfect. We make some honest mistakes, you know, and we right the ship, and we keep it rolling, man. So, you know, we're excited. We're excited out here, man. We're making it happen, and we want to, you know, shout out our prayers to the Hollowell, you know, family as well. We want to, you know, hold them in our prayers, and we want to hold the Davis family in our prayers as well. So, you know, my high school friend PD, he got hit with the COVID, man.
Hmm.
And we want to make sure that he has a speedy recovery from the COVID.
Absolutely.
We want to make sure that happens. And hey, ladies and gentlemen, take care of yourself. Hey, eat right. Take care of yourself, work out, and hey, if it requires for you to get vaccinated and that's what you believe in, get vaccinated. Okay. If you don't believe in getting vaccinated, I would highly encourage you to take the best quality care of yourself. Now you might see us, partaking in a little bit of adult beverage, but guess what? We rarely do that. Okay.
That's right.
One thing is we are on the holistic tip. We're about health, wealth. You can't have one without the other. They're Siamese twins.
Yeah.
That's the most important piece.
Yep. Yeah. And just to add on, yeah, we do it. We do it as a part of our show. And I just want to mention that I had two doctor's visits within the last couple of weeks. I had one this past week with a follow-up. But actually it was 3. I went for my annual. Okay, there goes the flowers again. Another
look at those.
Engagement.
Hot pink, bro.
Yeah, hot pink. Yeah, let me zoom that in. Yeah, look at that. Wow.
Take care. Hey man, but we got Clarence on here. I know he don't live, but finish saying what you're saying. You got your full physical. Oh yeah, I'm about to get my full physical too.
Yeah. So I got the physical done, and then I got the blood work, and then got the blood work done to make sure everything was right. Went for the follow up. Everything checked off good. So I'm blessed and happy to say that, and just to remind everybody out there to don't wait until something goes wrong.
Man, and you know what? Talk about mental health. That great show that Dr. Hollowell did on Monday is Mental Health Month. Yep. Man, it is so important for Black people to get mentally sharp. It's no honor in not talking to a doctor on the physical side and especially on the mental side. Psychiatrists, psychologists, you need to be talking to people right now, especially. Okay. So we got Clarence online here, so we're gonna turn over and turn this dialogue towards Clarence because that's why we out here. What's going on, Clarence?
Hey, I'm doing all right. Give me 1 second here. I'm just shifting my venue just a little bit, trying to get comfortable, so I'll be able to talk real good and long and all that kind of stuff. Got about 20 minutes.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. And like I was telling people, we're gonna catch up and probably try to shoot something. I know you don't normally do nothing on weekends because we were supposed to do it today. But it is what it is. But we still went and checked out some stuff.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, this is Clarence Archibald III. He is the owner, and I always get this wrong. It's a shame, and I've been knowing him for 20 plus years. Actually, been knowing him since he was 13. But I'm always getting the name of the company wrong, and I don't know why. The name of the company is Great Lakes Property Management Investment Group. Is that correct?
No.
Nah, even I know that.
Hey, you know what? As long as you get my checks right every month on the 15th,
just take the investment off, and you got it.
Yeah, take the investment off. Great Lakes Property Management Group. Even I know that. And I only know Clarence for a few weeks.
Hey, that's what happens when you know people for a long time. They still remember you from where you came from.
Great Lakes Property Management Group. That's right. So if you don't know Clarence, we did an interview with Clarence and his beloved wife Tonia, and we're gonna do a part 2 series, which we were supposed to do live today at the office, showing some of the finished products from what we were doing in March. Because I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, all those properties we acquired in March, those are owner occupied with tenants now, correct?
You're talking about March of this year? Wait,
2
months ago?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Those are.
Yeah. So can we talk a little bit about that? Because I always show people the pictures of those properties and how quick we turn them around. But ladies and gentlemen, this is Clarence retired, and I actually got the age wrong. You guys retired before 40 and 42, right? You were like 30, 36, and 38, right?
2006 for me, so that would have been 35, and then 2010 for Tonia, which would have been 39.
Wow. So I said 40 and 42, and I was wrong. So actually, with 35 and 39, and what we're saying, ladies and gentlemen, that was retired, meaning they left $250,000 jobs, didn't lose $250,000. They actually gained $250,000 income passively, and actually had, you know, millionaire next door status as well. So Clarence, man, talk to people and tell them why, you know, I always come up here, man, and take care of business with you.
Well, I mean, of course, you're coming down here to. I think you like going back to see your properties, man. That's what that is, you know. Especially that one on Oakfield. That's got to be hitting at about infinity in terms of your return on investment. So he won't never tell me the real numbers, but Nick, you don't figure that out by now, right? Dale ain't gonna tell you no real numbers.
Right.
Yeah, but you know, because at this point he's in infinity, but no, it's just a lot of activity going on in Detroit right now. Lots of opportunity. The market is changing, but the opportunities are still here. So when Dale came, you know, in retrospect, he should have went a lot harder than he did because, of course, when he came, man, what did your Oakfield property? Were you 15 in on that one?
Yeah, just under 15,000.
Yeah, under 15,000, and now properties are now at about 35 to 40, which again, depending upon how you look at it, that's good and bad. If you're trying to buy at 15, it's bad. But if you bought at 15 and now it's at 45, guess what? Now that's good. So he's been cash flowing over the number of years, and you have to remind me how many years it's been now, but he's been cash flowing that property, and it's actually the same tenant. I don't know if you know that or not, Dale.
Oh, yeah, I do know that.
Same tenant.
It's been 2016.
Yeah, so for 5 years, you've been cash flowing.
Yeah, 2016, 2015. So I'm like, we bought it in 2015, the end of 2015, and refab work. So we got our first check around about March of 2016.
Oh, nice. So you've been cash flowing that one since March 2016. And now instead of it, you put 15,000 in, it's worth at least 35, you know? Is that the property?
No, these are the ones back in March. These are
okay.
Back in March that acquired in the portfolio, and you were putting the work in. Yeah. But ladies and gentlemen, these are the ones in March.
I wish I could see which one they are, man. Because in March,
April, these were the ones over there. It was two properties we acquired, and the tenants were fighting to get them rented to them.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Is that cost? Because I done did like 5 properties since.
It wasn't far from your office. It was like is it Washington Street or something like that, or
Walk Bash? Let me think. Whittingham.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I said, we done did like 5 properties since then. So, and unfortunately, I can't really see your camera as well as I like.
Right. So tell them about how that happened in a pandemic in the wintertime, and those are all occupied. And literally, ladies and gentlemen, potential tenants were rolling up, had their money, getting the application, and the property was just getting turned over. So talk to them about how exciting that is, Clarence.
So you're not talking about the occupied ones. You're talking about the ones that we just finished in the renovation. So
right, I was talking about we had just acquired them, and then and you were actually, while y'all were acquiring the properties, like I guess y'all had just bought them like 2 weeks before, and you had like 4, 5, 6, 7 people coming in begging to rent the property out, and right now 2-3 weeks of work to do.
Yeah, well, here's what's going on right now, because the pandemic is going we're coming to the end, but because the pandemic was in place, it's not a whole lot of movement is happening, and so any properties that we got our hands on, like literally, I had to stop putting it online. So the last property I put online, normally, if you price your properties right, you tend to get about maybe 15 to 20 applicants because you're only trying to find one. Well, the last time I put a property on there, I actually said, well, let me push the market a little bit. And I put it like $100 more than what it should have been rented at. I got 100 applicants.
Wow.
Yeah. You should have saw Nick. Did you see the way Nick looked on that when I said that? It was like 100. Yeah. And so that might sound good unless you have to take those 100 phone calls, because I'm only looking for one tenant. And so it was just amazing. And what's happening is just no movement right now. And so there's no available rentals. So when a rental go on the market, and it's the same thing in the buying market. If you're looking to sell right now,
yeah,
crazy.
Man,
You know?
properties are selling in middle class neighborhoods for
Yeah.
50 to 100, 200,000 over list.
Yeah. And what's happening now, even on those, what they're doing, they're giving appraisal guarantees where they'll pay $10,000 more than what the appraisal comes in at. And so that's some of the stuff that's happening. And so it's happening in both rental as well as the selling market. So good and bad. Again, I always say there's good and bad in everything we do. So the good part is, guess what? We can get more rents. The bad part is, of course, that means that it's costing more to acquire properties. So that's the bad part. And so we have to be this is why you want somebody on your team, because I've seen some properties out here, man, that, you know, that people are asking $30,000 and they like, hey, it's only 2 rooms burnt up, you know, and it's crazy. But when you have the right people on your team, you can go through, you can sift through kind of the crap to get to the diamonds in the rough. And there's still some great deals out here. And that's pretty much in every market. But out in Detroit, the one cool thing is, Dale, you don't know, but Tonia and I, we just picked up a house, a 3-bedroom house for $5,000. And that was, Tonia, when was that? 2 weeks ago? Maybe 2 weeks ago. We just picked that up. It fell in our lap. And so we wasn't even in the buy mode, but anytime something like that fall in your lap, you kind of just take it.
Well, next time that happens, man, you know, hit me up too, because I get a I sent a message out and told you I needed another property or two.
Hey, Nick, tell Dale I love him, but not quite that much. You know? So yeah,
so tell them about how the system was created, because when we interviewed you and Tonia, that was a recorded interview. It wasn't live. So I think people get more appreciation seeing you live. So give them a little quick backdrop of how you guys started, how the system actually qualified people, that actually gives them like a mutual fund model with the 7 spheres connected with the Great Lakes Property Management Group. Tell them a little bit about that and where we are today. And I tell people, I say, hey, you can get into this game with us for as little as $7,500. And what we do with the help is we'll bring 2 members together, and then we'll finance the other part, and they can easily get in, just like, you know, engaging in a mutual fund, because the way you set the system up with you and Tonia.
Yeah. So in terms of like on the Great Lakes side of things, what we do is we take a womb to tomb approach. And that is, we help our clients with everything, every aspect of investing. And that is, we go from finding properties, and then through help with Dale. And again, I'm not sure how things are working nowadays, because I know the money part is kind of different. So you're going to have to kind of take over and talk a little bit about how the money is working now. But, you know, when we first put this thing together, we would find the property, and then we would then bring it, and Dale would take his qualified clients, and basically knowing they're qualified, knowing they got the credit and all the other kind of stuff. And like I said, Dale, you can talk more on that. And he would make sure that the money was there, not only to buy the property, but to fix the property up. Again, we're in a little different market, so I'm not sure how that's working, because I don't know how to get out of the money yet. We're working on that, Dale, by the way. So as soon as that happens, we should be, I know we should be a full blast, because then there goes your opportunity for people, if they don't want to necessarily own property, but they still want to invest in the system. Now they can put their money on the money side. You know what I'm saying? Like what we did back in the past. So from a Great Lakes perspective, though, we help you find the property. They'll put you in a position, if you don't have the money or even qualifying you for the money, to make sure that you can, basically should be involved, because not everybody should be. And I shouldn't say that. Not everybody is prepared to be. Maybe that's a better way to put it. And then once you're ready to go, we find that property. We help you through the buying process. Once you buy the property, if there's a need for renovations or any of that kind of stuff, our company will go through and do the renovations. Once we renovate, then we put that property into the property management, and then we start to cash flow it. What that means is money that you get on a monthly basis from a passive basis, but we manage the day-to-day activity, so you don't have to get those phone calls. A lot of people say, I don't want to do real estate because I don't want to have to fix toilets. Well, y'all want to know a secret? I don't fix toilets either. I haven't fixed a toilet since probably 2006 when I retired. I hire people to fix toilets. And so, I think there's a show on TV that says sometimes the best tool in your tool belt is your checkbook. And I truly believe that, because the time it takes me to fix a toilet, and by the way, I do know how, because I had to fix Dale's remotely once or twice.
Yeah, I was about to say, you have fixed the toilet recently, mine remotely.
So I've had to help him walk him through it while I'm in Michigan and he in Texas. But what I would say is, I think I know Mamadou Diallo. I think I know you.
Really? Yeah. Mamadou Diallo. He just became a member of the Seven Spheres of Money system. Congratulations, brother.
Yep. I think I know you. Yep. We got about 5-6 more minutes, and we're gonna get us some food going here.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but at any rate, so ping my brain. This is what happens when you get old, man. But yeah, fix it. A lot of people say I don't like to fix toilets. Well, guess what? You don't have to fix a toilet. A lot of people say I don't want to deal with tenants. Well, you don't have to deal with tenants. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. The beautiful part about our system is we handle that for you. And then the last piece is the tomb. And there becomes a time when sometimes people want to get out of the business for whatever reason. I had a client that just sold her portfolio, and it had nothing to do with real estate. It just she has an online business that took off, and so she had to buy inventory. Well, guess what? She had 5 properties that allowed her to generate over $150,000 in inventory that she didn't have nearly. I think she had. I'd have to look at the spreadsheet. I got a spreadsheet, but I think she had about 100 grand into it. She got about 150 out, and she was able to buy some inventory. And now whatever's going to happen, I hope prayerfully her internet business goes well. I don't necessarily recommend that, but at the end of the day, guess what? Dale owns his properties. At some point, Nick's going to get some property. He owns his. I own mine. I've got 26 other owners that own properties that we work with. They own their properties, so they can do whatever it is they choose to. Now, I don't recommend it, but I know people do what they want to do. And the reason I don't recommend it is, at the end of the day, wealth in America is created through real estate. You know, Dale's a financial guy, and I know he likes people to invest in stocks and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, if you look at it, McDonald's, they're not a burger place, right? What do McDonald's? What is McDonald's?
Most expensive real estate in every town they're in.
Yep. And hopefully Dale will put a show on one day about that, to talk about the real business that people are in. Bill Gates owned more farmland in America, I think, than any farmer. I don't understand why, but guess what? I don't know what he's going to do with the land, but he owns more land than the American farmers. And
he owns a ton of land too. He's building a facility right out here in Detroit.
Yeah, you talking about Bezos?
Yep.
Oh yeah. Yep. So all the people, wealth is created through ownership of land. Yes, every one of those people that we talked about, they own stocks, they own bonds, they own businesses, but the foundation of their wealth is created through real estate. And so that's the thing that we have to start doing, is we have to put a foundation. The other thing that I don't know if everybody know, but almost everyone in Congress owns rental or some type of investment real estate.
Yeah. Most of it in the commercial market.
Why do they own investment real estate? Because the tax laws, who writes those tax laws? They do.
That's right.
So they wrote tax laws to benefit the owners of real estate. And guess what? They're all owners of real estate. So I know that's a hard pill to swallow for some people. But if you feel that you're paying too much taxes, then you need to own some real estate. A lot of people got mad. I don't know if you guys remember back a few years ago when they kept asking Donald Trump for his tax returns, and he said, all I did was follow the rules that y'all wrote. And all of a sudden it went silent. They didn't ask again for his taxes, because had he showed his taxes, he would have showed that he had $1 billion write-off legally that he took advantage of over the last 10 years.
Yep.
And you can't be mad at that. He took the legal way, in terms of his deductions. That's the thing that we have as people that have tax deductions. We get to take off those. Last year, you know what? It was a tough year for people in real estate because of the pandemic, the moratoriums that was going on. You couldn't evict. Well, guess what? at the end of the day, we're still going to win. Because I've got some of my investors that they make $100,000 on their job. They're going to be able to take $25,000 worth of write-offs. Now, Dale, you can talk about the numbers with that in terms at some point on what that means from a tax perspective. But that drops them from the highest tax bracket down to the next tax bracket. And yep, whoever is Risto Benji, yes, you do need to own some real estate. I would 100% agree with you.
All you got to do, Risto Benji, is hit us up at 866-395-3042 or email nick@djthemoneycoach.com, because in order for you to actually engage with Clarence, you got to be qualified, because, you know, we got to make sure that you have money to risk in order to invest. And I told people, Clarence, over the past 30 days, I've actually turned away $60,000 worth of investment money for people who refuse to go through the qualifier. Clarence, talk to them real quickly why that's important, and since we've been doing this together since 2005, why is that important? Because I've got a property, which I've told people, out in Detroit, right out here, that is under moratorium, that I'm not collecting rent on, but it's not hurting my income.
Right. Yep. And that's the way you have to be. So I think it's important to make sure that you're ready, because real estate is like anything else. Any other kind of business, you're going to have some great times and you're going to have some down times. And one of the problems that people do when they don't have the right financial savviness is they will start putting their rental income into their lifestyle before it's time. And what that does is that hampers your growth, that hampers your ability to, one, grow, but it also sometimes will hamper your ability to weather the storm. So if you're getting $500 a month per property, and by the way, our strategy is we try to get you to 4 properties as quickly as possible. And it's just a numbers game. I'm an engineer by degree, so numbers all make sense to me. So if you're at 4 properties, you can be at 100%, 75, 50 or 25% occupancy, versus if you got 1 property, you're at 100% or 0. And so what happens is people will take that money. Let's say you're getting $500 and now you got 4 properties, you got $2,000 a month that goes into your pocket. If you don't have the right financial background or training, what'll happen is they'll take that $2,000 and by the way, I've seen this done, and they'll put that into their lifestyle and they'll create new bills. And then when the taxes are due for that property, they don't have the tax money. When the insurance is due for that property, they don't have the money. When there's a repair, you guys, everybody that's listening to this, everyone lives in a house. And here's the reality. Something will go wrong in your house. Well, if something will go wrong in your house, imagine what's going to happen in the rental property. Here's the net of it. A rental property is like a car that you rent from Hertz or what you call it. Do you drive it the same as you drive yours? No. So guess what? Your tenants are not going to drive your house the way you would drive your house. I had a tenant today call me and said, "Hey, I've been in here for 2 years, and I'd like to get my house painted." And I said, "Wow." I said, "I was in my old house for 18 years and we never had to paint it. I don't understand." And she told me, "Well, I have kids." And I said, "Wow, I've got 5 kids that were all the ages, that we were the Kool-Aid house, that everybody came to my house, but they didn't write on my walls." Then I said, "Plus I got 7 grandkids now and my walls still look new." I said, "I don't understand." "Well, you don't understand. Maybe you took care of your kids." And I said, "Oh, now that's a different conversation." And I had to tell her, "You're going to have to paint your own walls if they're dirty at this point." But at the same time, the reason why she didn't keep the walls clean was because she felt that them wasn't her walls, they were my walls. And if I need them clean, I would just have to re-clean them again. Yep. And I know that's some things. Now, don't let that scare you. That's just a part of the business. But guess what? If you have the right financial background, you're preparing to have to paint those walls. Because guess what? Even here's the reality. She's been there for 2 years. That particular house, we've been getting, I think, $1,000 a month. So we've gotten $20,000 from her over the last 2 years. It'll cost about maybe about $600-700 to paint her walls. If she had to push back a little bit harder, I probably would have painted her walls. Okay. So because she's current throughout the whole pandemic, her rents came in, she's paid, so again, over the last 2 years, that's what's that? Actually, that's 24,000, right? Look at that. My math was wrong. So if I got to spend $600, $700 to get 24,000, is that a good return on investment, DJ, the money coach?
Oh man. Oh yes, sir.
You paint the walls too.
100%.
You paint the walls too.
Absolutely.
But here go the reality, Nick. Dale will be like, I ain't painting no walls.
Hey man, don't give away all my secrets, bro. Don't give away all my secrets.
But at the same time, that's part of being professionally managed. You got to be able to deal with that because and that's one of the advantages that we bring to the table is we do allow, we do know how to manage the tenants because they will ask for, hey, just like renting a car. Guess what? If you could take it back on empty, you take it back on empty every time, right? So
absolutely. So what would you say to the people out there? Why our system collectively in a partnership has worked over the last 16 years that makes us better than anybody else in the market? I mean, I know you're a humble person, but the reality is there's people on here doing these flip it shows. I got residual income shows, and they don't have CPA. They don't have an attorney. They don't have a real estate person that has a property management group, a real estate broker firm, a consulting firm like you do, and then they don't have accountants, legal advisors, registered investment advisors like we have, and we've been doing this for a long period of time. So tell them from a real estate standpoint why that is so important. It makes us uniquely better than anybody in the middle class.
I mean, I just think, from my perspective, having the right team in place is, it's just key. At the end of the day, there's a lot of people, and I always like to say, look at the fruit on the tree. There's a lot of people out here saying a lot of things. Right now, if you go and Google, there's a lady that's on HGTV that's trying to sue Detroit Land Bank. They've got her on TV. She's got her own show. She's supposed to be this great real estate guru, and she's been doing it supposedly for a number of years. And she made one of the first rookie mistakes. She goes in, she buys a house and didn't run the title. And when she comes to find out, the person that sold her the house didn't own it. And now, but the Detroit Land Bank owned it. Now she's trying to sue the Detroit Land Bank, and they're like, hey, we own the property.
But wait a minute, she's on HGTV, one of the most highly respected and biggest audience.
Just Google,
but she on HGTV.
Yeah, just Google HGTV star sues Detroit Land Bank, and it'll bring. I forget her name. I can't remember her name because I don't watch her show. But she just made a big rookie mistake. She put $60,000 into a property that she didn't own.
Wow,
that's a mistake that we would never allow one of our clients to make. And that's, right now I just had a guy that was trying to say, oh yeah, you guys can buy it through quick claim deed if you want, blah, blah, blah. And he's talking real fast and I just let him talk. Just let him talk. At the end of the conversation, I said, well, when the title company is ready, let us know. And if that means that the deal don't go through, or if that means the deal take an extra month, who cares? This is a long-term play. We're not in this thing short-term. We're in the long term. And one of the things that we're going to do is we're going to make sure that anybody who invests money, we're going to make sure that they're taken care of, and that's the reality of it. So, and that's why it's so important to have the right people in place. Because if you don't, this real estate game can get you. I even have people that come down to Detroit, they try to buy properties and they go try to find contractors and they lose their shirt. Because if you don't have people that you know and that you trust and they're already together, you can lose a lot of money in this thing, and you can lose it fast. We're not talking, it's like, hey, you can ask a roofer to come out and they can tell you, I had it. I'm going to give you a story that just happened to me. So I need a garage torn down. Insurance said you got to tear the garage down. So my guy is right now suffering through some challenges right now. And so I went on a website. There's a website in Detroit that you can go on. I'm like, hey, I'm looking for somebody to tear down the garage. Oh man, I can do it. I got about 5 people. So I was sent the address. When first guy come out, he said, man, I could tear that garage down for you for $4,500. I was like, $4,500? I was like, man, I could rebuild a whole new garage for $4,500. He was like, well, I'm going to do a professional job. And I said, well, what would be an unprofessional job of tearing a garage down and putting it into a dumpster? You know, because at the end of the day, it's a tear down. So then he says, he says, well, what were you expecting to be? I said, man, I was expecting to be about $1,000, somewhere $1,000 to $1,500. He says, well, I can do it for $1,500. I was like, so you just came down $3,000 just because I said I was expecting to be? I said, man, your credibility is lost. I never do business with you. Then I got another quote for $1,500. Then I got another quote for $1,500, which is about where it should be at. So the point that I'm trying to make there is, if you don't know what you don't know, if you didn't know better, if I didn't know better, I would have been like, oh man, cool. He's going to do a professional job. And I'd have spent $4,500 on a $1,500 job. What does that do to your return on investment, Dale?
Man, that puts you on, skid row.
Yeah. So it kills the return on investment, and imagine that's just one item. So imagine now I got to put a roof on, I got to do some lights, I got to put an electrical box. Imagine all the different components. There's literally 100 different components to renovating a house. And imagine if I lose, what kind of percentage was that? Like, man, imagine if I lose
100% negative
ROI. Yeah. Imagine if I'm losing on each part of the deal. Guess what happens? If I'm losing like that, I'm gonna be a loss. And that's the reason why I hear these stories of people spending, $60,000 and the house still not done. Because guess what? They've lost so much money on, first of all, getting somebody ran off with the money, somebody overcharged them, somebody didn't finish the job. These are a lot of things that happen. That don't happen inside of our organization. And the reason why is because I've been doing it so long that let me say this. People do not finish the job. People do not show up for the job. The difference is the people that don't show up for the job, they hadn't gotten any money, so it's okay. Nothing lost. The people that don't finish the job, there's enough money in there to still finish the job because I'm only paying you for work that's done. Now, some contractors won't work with me for that reason. And the only thing I tell them is I'm established. You're not. And the only reason why you don't want to work with me is because you're planning on not finishing the job. And someone will say, no, I just don't work that way. And I'll just say, well, that's the only reason, because everybody will tell you that the money is good. If you work with Great Lakes Property Management Group, you know you're going to get paid. There's been times that I had to break Dale's rule. He taught me years and years ago. I had to go into my own money to pay the contractors. Right? Because Dale, I'm assuming you're teaching people that still, right?
Absolutely.
Don't use your own money. Yep. So,
absolutely.
So hopefully I'm throwing things out there that you can at some point go back and teach some folks about, So these are some of the things that you're teaching in your financial classes is, hey, you never should use your own personal money to fund your business. And so, again, I know there's some people that are going to say, well, you got to do that to get your business started. Well, that's why you need to go ahead and take the class, because you'll learn some things that maybe you don't know. And so hopefully that kind of gives you an outline. But the more you know, the better you are, and the better your team. At the end of the day, the better your team, the better off you're going to be. And that's just in life.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And leave them with this, because you got to go. So give them two examples about your nephew and your son and bring it home for these young people. Because actually, just like our guy, Mama Diallo, he's 28 years of age, man. And give him some hope that because you put that system together since 2005, now it's 2021, and you have hundreds of properties under ownership and management, which is millions of dollars debt-free. I don't think people understand the magnitude. Debt-free, own them cash outright. There's nobody in your system, myself included, that are carrying any mortgages. We own them debt-free. So give them a quick highlight of how your wisdom and your system enable your nephew and your son and other clients in as little as 2-3 years step into your system and become six-figure income earners, or the ones that, what, I'm still going to do it myself, DJ. I'm still going to do it myself, Clarence, because I just want to do it myself. But wisdom is taking other people's experience in doing what they did right and eliminate all the dumb things that they did wrong, right?
Yeah. So I'm gonna take you back 5 years ago. I'm at University of Chicago. My son is trying out to go to college there, trying out for their basketball team. My nephew played Division I basketball for University of Detroit, Indiana State, and a couple other schools. And so, let's see, I got 9. I'm good. And so I told him, come on out so you can support your cousin. So he comes out. While we're sitting there, we're talking. He's like, well, man, this is the middle of the week. He's like, well, I'm there. Tanya's there. He's like, how are you guys both able to be here and going on all these different camps? And I said, well, what do you mean? He said, well, don't y'all got to go to work? And we were like, no, we're free. And he was like, well, what does that mean? I said, we're free. We don't have to go to work. We don't have jobs. We can do what we want to do when we want to do it. And so at that point, he said, well, what does that mean? How? What are you doing? What? And so I started talking to him. We started talking about the real estate stuff. We started talking about, what it takes to get started and all that kind of stuff. And, I'm trying to watch my son because I'm hoping he's going to go play for UFC. I don't really care about their basketball team, but it's UFC. I want him to get a degree from UFC. So the whole time he's in my ear asking me questions. I was like, man, hey, look, we're going to have to talk later. I said, hey, tell me what he's doing right and wrong. How do we get him into this college? You play D1 ball. How do we get him over here? So we wrapped up, and then I got to get a call from him. He's like, man, how much money do I need in order to participate? And I said, man, at this point, and this is 5 years ago, I said, basically, we're about 15,000 all in. So however much money you have, that's going to determine how many properties you can get. He was like, well, man, he was a teacher in Chicago public schools, so making $60,000 a year. So he was like, well, man, I got a little money saved up. So he was like, I probably can go and I could probably get, he's like, how much does it cost to actually buy the house? I said, well, it's different amounts, but you can expect to be about 15,000 all in. And he was like, no, break it down for me. I was like, okay, well, probably, we might get you a couple properties, 5,000 each. He was like, you know what? I want 2 properties. So we got to the auction. We got him 2 properties. He did some creative financing. He did some things that I don't necessarily recommend, but it worked out. He wound up going and asking some friends for money and different ways. But at any rate, he got those first 2 properties up and running, making money. He was like, you know what? This thing makes sense. He was like, next year, I'm putting all the money from these 2 properties, which, by the way, he was cash flowing about $1,000 a month for those 2 properties. So he said, I'm going to take that 12,000. I'm going to add another 15, and I'm going to ask some friends for some money. I'm coming to the auction with 50,000 next year. Next year, he came to the auction. He bought 10 properties. And I said, okay, that's great. Now, how you going to fix these properties up? He said, don't worry about that. I'm going to fix them up. And so we just started fixing up 1 property. And what he was doing was he took his income that he was making as a teacher. Guess what? He stopped going to the club. He got him a steady girlfriend. So he ain't got to spend as much money on a steady girlfriend. I'm sure the women, we done lost them now. But, he stopped going to the club. He stopped doing a lot of things and started cutting back because he understood what he was trying to do. And every month, he was like, hey, I'm ready to do a property. I'm ready to do a property. I'm ready to do a property. I sat down with him 2 years ago. We sat down in, I forget what city it's in. Remember that restaurant we went to there right outside of Maywood?
Yeah. Restaurant. Yeah,
I can't think of what's right off 22nd over there by Maywood. But we sat down and we started going through his numbers. I was like, how much are you making? I really was like, really more so what your debt structure, because of course I saw how much cash flow was coming in. And I basically told him, I said, man, you know what? You're making more money. You're bringing in more revenue passively than you're bringing in from going to work every day. I said, you're free. I said, you're free.
And how old was he?
He was 29 at that point. So that was 2 years ago. So he's 31 now. He's 29. I said, you're free. And he was like, man, I don't know what you thought. No, I don't know if I could do it. Then he went back into the school semester, and all of a sudden the vice principal started messing with him, which, by the way, the vice principal been messing with him, right? Because if you got a job, there's always somebody messing with you. So the vice principal, all of a sudden, he started noticing he's bothering me. I was like, what's he doing different now than what he wasn't doing? He said, I don't know, but he bothering me. He getting on my nerves now. You know, all of a sudden, because what's going through his head is I'm making more money not going to work than I'm making going to work. So finally, he was like, man, I can't even take it no more, man. This guy bothering me. I was like, well, man, you free. I said, if you want, you can walk away. He said, if this guy come back in my room one more time, I'm walking out. And you know he came in because that's what people do, right? Ain't that what bosses do? They come in, they bother you. That's their job. Now the guy wasn't doing anything. He was just asking Lamar to do work in a certain fashion, the way that all the other teachers were doing. The difference is all the other teachers didn't have more income coming in. They were dependent upon that job. Lamar wasn't. And so his whole thing was, I want to do things the way I want to do things. Because guess what? When you're free, you have a whole different mindset. And the cool thing about it, he taught them kids more in that time when he was free until he left than he did the previous years. Because his mindset, he wasn't trying to teach for his boss. He was teaching for the kids at that point. And they really learned. And then finally he walked away. He was free. And unfortunately, the story didn't go, it ain't all peaches and cream, because remember I said he did some things that I wouldn't necessarily recommend. He also he came back to the auction and bought 17 more properties, but he bought those with somebody else's money and he had to pay that money back. And guess what? When the market took a slump, he had to service that debt. And so he went back to work as a teacher again. Now, here's the funny part, though. He took all of his salary because he understood what he was trying to do. And he basically paid that debt down, paid it down. And as soon as Chicago Public Schools said, you got to come back in the classroom, he was like, I'm free. I'm back free again. So he's 31 years old, and he's free. So, we'll have to get him. You have to get him on the show, Dale. Definitely.
Oh, yeah. Because we've talked several times, about commercial endeavors and some other sophisticated vehicles that taking money out of the property. So yeah, we're gonna get them on. Hopefully we get them on this month. But
and those are the things that I with me, I felt that because we were positioned with no money, no all cash, no mortgages, none of that, I wanted to stay that way. Because that's what allowed Tonia and I to be free, is because we don't have any debt to service on our properties. So if the market completely crashes, like some people are expecting, I don't know if I agree with them, but this boy is on fire. If it completely crashes, it's not going to affect Tonia and I. We're not going to have to go back and get jobs.
Right, because y'all got cash. Y'all got cash flow. We got cash flow.
Now, even if the rents go down, which back in 2008, that's what happened. The rents went down. And so even if they go down, Tonia and I, okay, we'll go from having a rents of 800 times 30 to, okay, let's say they go to 600. If we can't live off 600 times the 30, we in trouble anyway. Man, we need to go take Family Finance 101 class. We're going to have to go retake it again if we can't live So that's really what it comes down to. So that's what I'm trying to set. I was trying to set Lamar up, and I think he's going to get there. I think what happened was these young guys.
Y'all get that new rich. We all go through that.
Well, no, these young bulls. No, it wasn't about new rich. What it was is he said, I like the idea. You guys are doing 15 to 20,000 a month. I want to do 100,000 a month. So ain't that new rich? That's some young people.
Right. And it's funny you say that, because in the course I teach them how you can live for $8,333 a month passive income if you have no discernible consumer debt, and you would never have to work for somebody ever again in your life, and you can live like a millionaire.
Yep. And do the math on that. You know how many houses that come up to? At 500 a house, what that come up with, Dale?
Man, that's only like
18 houses.
50, yeah, 50, yeah.
18 houses, free and clear, and you're free. And again, this is not a get rich quick thing. So just give you guys a little bit of perspective. Tonia and I, we've been buying since 2002. You guys heard how many properties we have. We actually have 35. There's 32 actually in play, and we got 3 that we still got to do the construction on. So think about that. Since 2002, we only have 35. We didn't go, it wasn't like a get rich quick thing. It's just add a couple properties a year, couple properties a year, couple properties a year. You know, and a lot of, what's the average age of your clients right now, Dale, would you say?
About 35.
Yeah, so 35, guess what? If they added 2 properties a year, by the time they get 50, they'd be free. That's 15 years before their job is going to let them go.
Well, actually, that's actually 22 years, because the average person now is not retiring until 67, 72 now.
People working that long?
The average middle class person
Wow.
is working to 70, 72.
Man.
Pushing back at that. And that's what people don't realize, is that incomes have not changed over the last 40 years.
Yeah.
There's still only 5% of people in America individually make 100 grand. 20% individuals make 60,000, but they see these people on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and they next door instant millionaires, and they think everybody out here balling, making millions of dollars, which is not, because once you get under 5%, 3% of people make 120,000, and then 2 and 1% make $1 million, and 8 figures is like 1% of a percent.
Yeah. Now, what's that percent that make over 6 figures?
That is 5%.
Oh wow! I'm
actually make 6 figures, but they actually make up 120,000. Is only 3%.
Wow. Yeah, I was asking that because my son, which to tell the second story, he didn't. By the way, he didn't get into University of Chicago, so we had to go. He wound up actually going to Michigan, U of M Dearborn. But and then he wound up at Roosevelt in Chicago. So, but while he was in school, he managed to pick up some properties. Why? Because, and then again, this is where it happens for the second generation, because he knew better than what we knew. So while he was still in college, he picked up some properties. And when he came out of college, it was funny because he had 5 units. Now dad don't charge son management fees. So his properties typically are cash flowing at about $600 per unit. So he had about $3,000 coming in per month graduating from college, right? That's $36,000 a year. So when he went to his interviews, if you remember, Dale and Nick, I don't know if you did the interviews right out of college, but when we went to our interviews, we were like this. Yes, sir. And I remember when they said, we're gonna offer you $32,000 a year. I was like, yes. I called my mama, told her I was rich and everything. My son went in with $32,000 of passive income. No, $36,000 of passive income. He went in front of the banker. This is what he did. He went in there like, so tell me this. What kind of money? Before they even started asking him questions, he said, what kind of money is this job gonna pay? They said, well, we could offer you this job gonna be offered at $50,000. He's like, $50,000? He said, you mean y'all want me to work for 40 plus hours for $50,000? He was like, man, I got 36,000 coming in and I don't have to do nothing. Is that all y'all gonna be able to offer? You sure it's only $50,000? And they was like, yeah, well, that's gonna be the max we'll be able to pay for this. He was like, I'm good. He called me up and was like, Dad, y'all need a financial guy for your company, don't you? He was like, he told me, he said, I'm not going to work in the corporate world. I can't do it. And so I was like, yeah, we need somebody. And so he told me, of course, he came in and said, this is how much money I'm going to need. And oh, by the way, I'm going to need this amount of money. And I'm going to be working from Mexico for the next 6 months, which is where he's at right now. And so now he has, I think the new number, I think he's got 7 properties, but I know my wife said, assuming all the tenants pay, he's going to be bringing in about $4,300 per month, plus what he makes through Great Lakes. So this kid going to be 23, 24 years old, making $100,000 a year. So that, that's kind of powerful. So, this is what we do for the next generation. And I think as we're talking about this thing to make everybody understand, it's bigger than, we talk about the money and all that kind of stuff, but it's bigger than the money. I don't need to make $1 million a year. What I want to do is I want to be able to be free and to be able to live the lifestyle I want to live. But not only that, I want to create generational wealth for my kids and my kids' kids. There's a principle there. There's a book I read that in somewhere. I'm going to get it eventually, Somewhere I read something about taking care of your kids and your kids' kids. So, and that's one of the things that we strive for. And at this point, we've already set up my son to a point where now he's got the tools to be able to set up his kids And that means that I've done my job for generational, creating generational wealth. And then he's also, by the way, going to be taking over Great Lakes here fairly soon. And he's talking about taking us. Right now, we manage about 250, 260 properties. He's already talking about trying to take it to 500 within the next 2 to 3 years. So the company, he's trying to double the company. And then, of course, he already put the $1,000 projection, the 1,000 property projections on the board. And all I told him was, go, young fella, go. Because it's 250 is a lot of work. So 4 times that amount. But he's young. He's energetic. It's their time. Dale and I, you remember, we used to work half days. I think I told you the story of when one of my mentors told me, Nick, and this is for you. If you want to be great, if you want to be wealthy, you want to be free, you need to work half days. That's what my guy told me. And I was like, yes, I can do that. I can do it. And I got to going, right? I was working 12-hour days. I called my mentor up and I said, man, I do not understand what's going on here, man. I'm working 12-hour days, man. And you told me I can get rich by working half days. What's going on? He was like, well, what do you mean? I was like, man, half day, 4 hours, right? He was like, no, man, I said half a day, 12 hours. I just put my head away and said, all right, man, is that what I got to do? And we put the work in. And Dale done did. He laughing, but he done put them 12-hour days in, plenty of them. And that's the reason why he can be free, because we put our time in and now we're free. And now for me, it's time for the younger generation to put that time in. And that's why it's going to work for my son. I truly believe he saw it. And again, with those 12-hour days, that don't mean that anybody that knows Dale, we never neglected our kids. I mean, I was at every basketball game when my daughters were cheerleaders. I was the dad, y'all see him, that don't have a basketball player on the court, but he over there at every game by the cheerleaders, clapping for them. Yep, that was me. Yep. When my daughters were cheerleaders, we went to the cheerleading competitions and saw the girls flip on their foreheads and all that kind of stuff. We went, and any of those events, we didn't miss any of them. But we still put the time in, the work. We put the work in. And the reason why we put the work in is so that we could have those time. Every year we took a vacation with the family, so we didn't neglect anything. We didn't lose anything, but we've gained a whole world, a whole different world that folks don't see. So one of these days, Dale, I'll have Tonia, you'll have to bring her on and she'll have to give her her tour of the house one of these days.
Oh, yeah.
I think your viewers will like the house. It's we're blessed. We don't do it to brag about it, but I think to motivate some people as to what they can have.
Right. Delayed gratification and leaving with this about, hey, man, you got your 25th year anniversary coming up. And every year you guys do what to celebrate another year anniversary? Because this is the epitome of the pom-pom lifestyle, ladies and gentlemen.
We travel one day per year. Yeah, 1 day per year. So this year we'll be traveling 25 days. Last year we did 24. Normally we go to a lot of different locations, but last year because of COVID, we had to do the whole 24 days out in Mexico.
But y'all spread that out across the year, right? You don't do it all in one time.
We do it all in August.
What? So you say 24, 25 consecutive days. Who can do that?
I don't know. We did it. We spent, like I say, last year we went to Puerto Vallarta. Actually Nuevo Vallarta for like a week. And then we went to not Cabo, one of them other Mexican cities. And then we went to Mazatlan for a week. And Mazatlan was kind of cool too, because we were there. We're chilling, right? It was Friday, and we're chilling on the beach. Tonia's in the water. I'm waiting for some shrimp to come. And I'm like, man, you know what? Because every year when we take these trips, we do different legs and we have different people that come with us. So, we might have, my brother-in-law, sister-in-law come on one part. My mom might come on a part. The kids might come. We might have some friends join as well. Because of COVID, we couldn't really do that last year. So I'm like, man, we done been here together all this time. We got to add somebody. So I just called up my son. I was like, hey, why don't you come on out here? He was like, well, don't I have to work? I was like, well, you kind of work for us. So yeah, you got to work, but why don't you come do it on the beach? And he was like, well, man, you want me to catch a flight? It's going to be expensive. I was like, yeah, all right, come on down. I was like, here go the flight tuck. Book the ticket and come on down. He jumped on the plane. The next day he was there. And then he spent, that's why he in Mexico now. It's my fault.
Ain't left since.
He got there and he fell in love with Mazatlan, where he's been at now for almost 6 months. So
Right.
it just, it was just kind of exciting to be able to do that because I showed him something. He was like, people just don't do that. He was like, man, he didn't have to tell his boss that he was going to take off. And it was just a spur of the moment. He just got up and go. But that's something that we've been doing now for quite a while, though. And it's kind of neat. It's cool. This year, like I said, we're actually doing a 25th vow renewal. And so we're going to, let's see, we go to New Orleans. Actually, we go to New Orleans the end of this month. Then we're going to start actually, because of the vow renewal, we're going to start a little early. We're going to actually go in July. So I'm going to be going to Chicago because we normally have a family reunion, but because of COVID, we're not going to do a family reunion. So I'm making my family, because my family energizes me. So I'm making them give me a family reunion. So I'm going to Chicago in July, in the late July. Then we're going to go to Boston with some family members. So we making kind of our own reunion. So we're going to do Chicago first for like 3-4 days. Then we're going to go to Boston, which I got a group of family members. It's going to probably be about 20 up there. We're going to do that for about 5 or 6, 7 days. Then after we come back from Boston, then we're going to go to Hilton Head. And then we're going to spend like a week or so out in Hilton Head. And then I'm trying to figure out how to round it out. So I haven't figured that out yet. But we're going to find a couple more days just to make sure we get that full 25. So we're thinking about, think about Hawaii. I got to figure out the whole, like I said, COVID is making it a little bit different this year. But I think if we don't have to go through these whole COVID restrictions, I think I might go ahead and go to Hawaii and go ahead and spend the rest of the time out there. So still trying to plan it, but we'll get our 25 days in for sure. So even if we got to go to Traverse City, Michigan, we're going to do 25. We won't be here.
That's what I'm talking about. Guys and gals, that is the epitome of the P.O.M lifestyle. Plenty of money, peace of mind, control 100% of your calendar, 24/7, 365. Do what you want to do on a whim because you got the resources, because you built it, and you didn't do it overnight. You actually built the system, built the pipeline like Robert Kiyosaki talks about, and now that pipeline gives you back your time and your money in abundance, multiplied over. So, man, dude, this has been a great tip off to the Mother's Day weekend. So we're gonna let you go. I'm gonna see you again before I get up out of here, man. Because obviously right down the street. So hey, man, appreciate everything, brother. And guys and gals, just like Clarence said, he took the Family Finance 101 course.
Yep.
Tip.
I think I did it more than once, but
Right. And that's the funny thing. People, oh man, I don't need that. I don't need to go. Okay, well, you're free, right? No, oh, you're not free. Oh, you got a high income, but you're not free. Oh, okay.
It's a lot of principles in there. I think that, people will know some of the stuff in there, but it's kind of like, that 1 + 1 = 2, but what application does that have? And I think I think where they get is how to apply those things. Do you need to unplug everything in your house? Probably not. But at least you understand why it's done, and then now people have choices on, because guess what? That extra $20 a month, if used properly, can make the difference, right? So it's a matter of, again, how do I apply? I know how to put money in a savings account, but should I be putting money in a savings account, or how much should I be putting in there? Those are the things that I think a lot of people don't know. And then and the average American don't even know what a freaking mutual fund is. So while you're talking, a lot of them, so again, those are things that you're going to learn. Again, I played the role when I took your class. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, oh man, I know this stuff, and I even sat back the whole time, like, yeah. And I'm on the slide writing notes, like, okay. So, but that's what we do, right? Because guess what? I'm this big time corporate guy working for Hewlett Packard at the time. I'm making good money. I got the nice suits, and everything from the outside world look like everything is great. But at the same time, I didn't know what to do. I mean, I did have money at the time, but what do I do with that money? Man, at one point I had a stupid amount of money in a freaking savings account getting me whatever, and like, wait a minute, why do I have all this money in a savings account? Well, after taking that class, we started moving money around. I'm like, man, we got to at least have it. We got to at least up it to a money market. I mean, if we ain't ready to go into something big, at least it got to go there. You know what I'm saying? So that's where the advantage of having that knowledge. And if they don't want to take it, I mean, I think that tells you that qualifies them, right there. It tells you that, guess what? At the end of the day, they're too smart for themselves, probably. And that's the reason why, for lack of a better way of putting it, that's the reason why they're still broke. I'll leave. I hope I didn't make anybody mad. Y'all still
off the mic right there, baby.
Real estate. By the way, that RP on the side of my name stands for real estate professional, and that's the IRS designation, not mine. I didn't have to go to school for it, so I didn't have, so hey,
we'll talk about that, man. So we're still going to do the live Zoom call and get into your course at the end of the month, right? We still going to do that?
We should be able to do that. Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
So let's talk, because we do need to. I need a little help on that whole little process. Okay.
Okay. Yep. Cool. So that's what we're doing for our people. We're giving away what's called Millionaire Money Made, and we're giving a live Zoom call with you guys, a live call with Leonard Ray, and a live Zoom call with myself at the end of the month, if they're wise enough to pick up the Family Finance 101 course and 2 consultations, one with Melvin and one with James, to get to you guys, and then we can really get some stuff cooking for them.
All right, sounds like a plan. All right, I'm actively looking for deals, so when they get ready to come, hopefully we'll have something ready to go.
Awesome. Well, hey, brother, I appreciate you, man. I'll see you before I hop on the plane again, and then hey, man, to turn this back over to Nick. Appreciate you, Clarence. Hey, man, tell me what's up. I'll see you guys tomorrow or by Mother's Day.
All right, sounds good. All right, Nick, have a good one, brother.
You too. Thanks for coming on.
Yes, sir.
Thanks a lot, Clarence.
All right, take care.
Well, hey, man, let's close it out, man, and get out of here, brother.
All right, yeah, man. I mean, I just want to point out that our interview with Clarence and Tonia that we did, several weeks ago to a month ago, that's our highest viewed video right now. I'm not sure if you knew that, but now that the people saw Clarence again tonight, they can understand why that's our highest viewed video. And I also want to point out that Clarence emphasized real estate, but I could take you can take pieces from both Clarence's story and DJ's story. So Clarence, his primary income stream is the real estate. But if you look at DJ has real estate. DJ has talked about stocks. He has stocks. He's into Forex, and he has businesses and equity and ownership in businesses. So that's your other safety net there. When you hear people talk about diversification, that's the definition of it there. You have paper assets, but you also have those physical assets as well, in your rotation. So put it all together, and you got a formula for success there.
That is the 3 steps to success, which we started back in 2005, and we went across the country. Clarence, myself, Kent, Lolita, and we went across the country, and we helped people become wealthy, and under the tutelage of George Fraser's FraserNet series. So, like Clarence said, we've been doing this for a long time. So with that said, man, let's end with put the special video up there for the ad for what we're running for what's called Millionaire Money Made. And that's going to give you, if you're wise enough, just like our man Diallo did tonight, invest in the course, Family Finance 101, which gives you 3-hour course, 18 hours, 136 principles of financial success. What Clarence said, you may know 50, 60 of these principles, but the question is, are you applying them? Because if you're applying them, guess what? You'll be free. It got nothing to do with your income. It's about passive income and debt freedom, which enables you to own yourself 100%. So we're going to give you that. I'm going to teach that course live, 3 hours live, which I haven't done in 18 months because I don't have to. But we're going to teach it live. And as a bonus, the first 10 people that register, they're going to get a live Zoom call with Clarence and Tonia. If you're watching this right now, and this was just spur of the moment, could you benefit from talking in Q&A with Clarence live on an exclusive Zoom call, everything about real estate with what he just told? He just told you. I tell you guys what we do. He just told you 250 properties owned and managed. You do the math. You do the math. Okay. If a house is $50,000, you do the math. And then you get Leonard Ray. Then you get James Lane. Then you get Melvin. And again, what Clarence said, he said he took the class not once, but twice when he was a 6-figure income earner. And he was like, oh, I don't need this. But what he said on the slide, he was taking down stuff that he needed to apply because I just knew stuff that he didn't know. And me, I was wise enough to invest in real estate with him. And then I sold my real estate back to him foolishly in the Great Recession, 2008. And then I talked to my number one mentor and he said, hey, get back into real estate, get you some more passive income. He said, if not, don't hang out with me in my multi-million-dollar, condominium in Vegas that I own cash outright. Tip. And I got on the phone and I bought several properties with Clarence and been buying ever since. So take advantage of this. It ain't for everybody. Freedom ain't free. That's the reality. I'm going to say that again. Freedom ain't free. You got to earn it. And the way to earn it is master the fundamentals of money. Consumer debt freedom. Get your credit score to 720. Get it to 800. Get your pay yourself first program. Get an emergency fund. You know what I'm saying? Fully fund your 401k. Fully fund your Roth IRA. Then you can start talking to Clarence about, owning real estate. Then you can start talking to Leonard Ray about, Forex. Then you can start talking to us about startup investments. But if you do it prematurely, just like he said, his nephew got free, got a little bit too over aggressive, went back, recalibrated, got back free again. He ain't going to be unfree again at 31. So how do you do that? You do it by taking this course, getting the value add of the Millionaire Money Month for a little bit of money, double guaranteed if you're wise enough to take advantage. So, hey, man, we want you, to have a pom-pom lifestyle straight up. Plenty of money, peace of mind. I'm out here in Novi, not because I have to be, it's because I want to be. I'm free. Checking out my properties, getting some more stuff, and adding more multi-generational wealth for my children and our members' children and children's children. So, Nick, how do we end, man? What's our mantra here at the 7 Spheres of Money program?
Oh, we wish you a pom-pom lifestyle. That's plenty of money, peace of mind, and we invite you to come join us on the Beaches of the World Club. And your beach may not be next to sand and water, but your beach is where you find your peace of mind and your freedom. So take care. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, and we'll see you on the next broadcast.
Peace. Run that video and hit us up if you're serious about your freedom. You deserve it like anybody else. You can do it too. It's simple, but it ain't easy. And all you got to do is practice 3 little dirty words: work, discipline, and accountability with a proven system that got 20 years, over 20,000 people in our system. God bless. Happy Mother's Day. Appreciate everybody. I'm DJ the Money Coach.
All right. Good night.
This is DJ the Money Coach. Thank you for celebrating our 1-year anniversary with us. Thank you for the emails, videos, and the phone calls. Most importantly, congratulations for the hundreds of people who actually acquired the course. Now it's time to take it to the next level. That's right. Millionaire Money Made. I'm actually going to teach you live how to earn that 800 credit score through the Family Finance 101 course. I'm going to teach the live 3-hour course to you. That's right. After I do that, we're actually going to bring you 3 steps to success: business, real estate, and leverage the tax laws. And once we achieve that, we're going to show you how to earn with a little bit of investment in the market up to an 80% return, cash return on your money. After we achieve that, we're going to show you how to earn
with a minimum investment of $7,500, how to get you to $850 a month in passive income. On top of that, we're going to give you 2 live Zoom trainings with Leonard Gray, 7-figure Forex trader since 2007, Clarence and Tonia, 7-figure income earners through real estate, over 200 properties they own, and retired at the young age of 40 and 42. All you have to do is register now. Hit that link below, and you'll become part of Millionaire, Money, Making Money, exclusively with Erica Williams and the Classic Climb, brought to you by DJ Money Coach and the 7 Spheres of Money team. So don't you deserve to be a millionaire next door? Consumer debt free, cash, and credit? Absolutely. Hit the link. I'll see you live on May 19th.